Look around you right now. How many things in your room are held together by something invisible? The book on your shelf, the shoes by your door, even the chair you might be sitting on. We live in a world bound by an unsung hero, a substance so common we barely even notice it: glue. But this humble, sticky stuff has a story that's anything but boring. It's a tale of Stone Age ingenuity, Egyptian secrets, and industrial revolution that literally holds our modern world together. Our story starts a very, very long time ago. Imagine a world without screws, nails, or welding. How would you fasten a sharp stone to a wooden handle to create an axe? This was the challenge our early ancestors faced, and their solution was brilliantly resourceful. About 200,000 years ago, Neanderthals in what is now Italy discovered the magic of birch bark. They would heat the bark in a controlled way, without letting it catch fire, a process we now call dry distillation. As the bark heated up, it released a thick, black, tar-like substance. This birch bark tar was the world's first superglue. It was waterproof, strong, and perfect for hafting tools. Archaeologists have found stone tools from this era with remnants of this ancient adhesive still clinging to them, a sticky testament to early human innovation. It wasn't just a one-off discovery. Similar glues made from plant resins like pine sap were used across the globe. By simply heating the sap, they could create a tacky adhesive to fletch arrows or repair pottery. But the real masters of ancient adhesives were the Egyptians. They took glue making from a survival necessity to an art form. When we think of ancient Egypt, we picture grand pyramids and golden sarcophagi. What we often miss is the glue holding those treasures together. The Egyptians developed a sophisticated process for creating animal glue. They would take animal hides, bones, and connective tissues, things left over from butchering, and boil them in water for hours. As the collagen in these tissues broke down, it dissolved into the water, forming a substance called gelatin. After straining out the solid bits, they would let the liquid cool. It would set into a jelly-like block. This block could be dried, stored, and then rehydrated with hot water whenever glue was needed. This process was so effective that furniture found in the tombs of pharaohs like Tutankhamun is still perfectly held together by this 3,000-year-old glue. They used it for everything: veneering fine woods, creating intricate inlays on caskets, and even in shipbuilding, sealing the planks of their vessels. The Romans, great engineers that they were, adopted and refined these techniques. They documented various recipes for glues, including fish glue, made from the air bladders of sturgeon, and casein glue, derived from milk curds. Pliny the Elder wrote about these different adhesives in his Natural History, detailing their specific uses from woodworking to medicine. They even created a form of plywood by gluing thin layers of wood together, a technique that wouldn't be seen again on a large scale for centuries. After the fall of Rome, however, much of this knowledge was fragmented. During the Middle Ages, glue making became a closely guarded secret of artisan guilds. Cabinet makers, luthiers who crafted violins and lutes, and scribes who bound books all had their own proprietary recipes. For them, a good glue was the difference between a masterpiece that lasted for generations and something that fell apart in a few years. The quality of a Stradivarius violin, for example, is often attributed not just to the wood or the varnish, but also to the specific animal glue used in its construction. For thousands of years, the world of adhesives was dominated by these natural organic glues. They were effective, but they had their limitations. They were sensitive to moisture, could be broken down by bacteria, and the process of making them was often smelly and time-consuming. The big shift, the moment glue entered the modern era, came with the Industrial Revolution. As factories sprang up and mass production began, there was a desperate need for stronger, more reliable, and faster-setting adhesives. The first glue factory was established in Holland in the early 18th century, mechanizing the old animal glue process. But the real breakthrough was chemistry. The 20th century was the golden age of synthetic polymers. Chemists began to understand molecules and how to link them together to create entirely new materials with amazing properties. In 1907, Leo Baekeland invented Bakelite, the first truly synthetic plastic. While not a glue itself, it opened the door to the world of synthetic polymers. Then in the 1930s and 40s, a flood of new adhesives appeared. Polyvinyl acetate, or PVA, was discovered. You probably know it as the white school glue or wood glue we all used as kids. It was cheap, non-toxic, and easy to use. Around the same time, epoxy resins were developed in Germany and Switzerland. This was a game changer. Epoxies came in two parts, a resin and a hardener. When mixed, they create an incredibly strong, durable, and resistant bond that could join almost anything, from metal to concrete. The Second World War accelerated this innovation even further. The demand for materials to build planes, ships, and equipment spurred the development of powerful new adhesives. One of the most famous and accidental discoveries happened in 1942. Dr. Harry Coover was trying to create a clear plastic for gun sights. One of his formulas, a cyanoacrylate, was a complete failure. It was useless for gun sights because it stuck to everything it touched. It was frustratingly, impossibly sticky. Coover shelved the formula, considering it a nuisance. It wasn't until 9 years later, while working on a different project, that he and a colleague rediscovered the substance. This time they realized its true potential. They had invented superglue. When it was finally released to the public in 1958 as Eastman No. 910, it was demonstrated on a TV show by lifting the host Gary Moore off the ground, suspended by a single drop of the glue bonding two steel plates. The world was astonished. From there, the world of adhesives exploded. We developed pressure-sensitive adhesives for tapes and sticky notes, hot melt glues for packaging and crafts, and specialized adhesives for medicine, electronics, and aerospace. Think about a modern car. It contains over 40 pounds of adhesives, replacing rivets and welds to make the car lighter, quieter, and safer. Your smartphone is a marvel of adhesive engineering, with different glues holding the screen, battery, and components in place. Surgeons now use medical-grade cyanoacrylate glues to close wounds without stitches, reducing scarring and infection risk. These glues are designed to be biocompatible and break down naturally in the body over time. So the next time you peel a sticky note, fix a broken mug, or admire a piece of furniture, take a moment to appreciate the invisible force holding it all together. From the Neanderthals cooking birch tar to the chemists designing molecules in a lab, the history of glue is the story of human ingenuity. It's a story of our relentless drive to connect, to build, and to make things last. It's the sticky, messy, and fascinating substance that, quite literally, binds our world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the history of glue. If you found this as fascinating as I did, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. And if you want to explore more hidden histories of everyday things, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.